Hi, welcome to Screening Room. We have a very magical episode today because given that Halloween is tomorrow, we'll be talking about Disney Halloween movies.
Welcome to the Screening Room. And now, our feature presentation.
Hi, I'm Cami Diaz.
I'm Brady Fisher.
And I'm Jenna Zerbel. So, imagine this. You discover that you have a secret twin and magical powers. That is the situation in this iconic flick. Tia and Tamara Mowry star in this Disney Channel original movie about twin witches, or twitches, rather. On their 21st birthday, they discover each other and their long-lost connection to the magical land of Coventry. Sisters are the rightful princesses of that kingdom, but it was under attack by an evil force called the Darkness when they were babies. Thus, they were separated and sent to the mortal world to escape and hide. Once they discover each other and their origins, the twins, Alex and Cami, must learn to get along with each other despite their wildly different personalities. As if that weren't difficult enough, they have the additional life-or-death task of saving Coventry from the Darkness yet again. This DCOM came out in October 2005 and really looks like it. Despite the less than stellar graphics, it holds up as a mildly fun Halloween movie, even more than a decade later. I would describe this movie as lighthearted and fun overall. As long as you don't take it too seriously, it is easy to look past the sillier bits and the production quality. To get an idea of what this film is like, let's take a look at the trailer.
First time on Disney DVD, when they were born, they had no idea what their futures would hold.
The twins aren't safe together. The darkness won't rest until it finds them.
But on their 21st birthday, two girls will discover
I knew something was gonna happen today. Why do you look like me? I don't know, but isn't it cool?
they're not just sisters, they're twitches.
Twin witches. Exactly.
Now,
This is not my closet.
they'll enter a magical new world to fight the forces of evil
Okay, we can do this.
and discover a power they never knew they had.
Drawer open.
Bring home Tia and Tamira Mori
Go twitches. Go twitches.
in the Disney Channel original movie,
Stop sis.
loaded with extras, including a behind-the-scenes featurette.
Because I'm here to tell you that is as magical and fairy tale as it gets.
Twitches, now on Disney DVD.
Great, so that movie was a lot of fun. I think the first thing we should probably talk about is Tia and Tamara Mowry, the stars of the film.
Yeah, stars of Sister Sister, too. That's what I would know them
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
Go home, Roger. That was, like, my favorite thing.
Don't know what that is. But
So you can't relate.
So you can't relate,
of their acting
but-
in this movie.
I
Oh,
thought it
yes.
was pretty spot on to what they usually do. I honestly, a lot of the times when I was watching Twitches, I thought that it was scenes from Sister Sister because I couldn't. I mean, of course, it was a long time ago that I saw that show, but I was like, oh, this is also in the show, right? But it was not, and I just have a bad memory. But their acting is very similar, I think, in both movies.
I have to wonder if it's not all acting. I think they're just generally likable people.
Yeah.
I was like, they're twins. How so you take people that aren't related to each other and put them in the same movie. How different would the movie be? Because they don't have that sister-sister connection.
Yeah.
The sister.
Clever reference,
Yeah.
The
Brady.
sister connection.
Yeah.
But I have a question. For the beginning of the movie, it starts off with them sitting in that room, laying as babies. Who put them there? But why are they there?
I'm going to say probably their mom, but you
just
know, I don't
fill
know.
me in. Like,
Who's to say?
Who is to say? I think maybe it's up for interpretation.
Okay.
Maybe
Maybe
the
it's a
magical
metaphor for how none of
presence-
us really chose to be here.
oh.
You're right.
But like a theory is, they're in that circle with the moon and the sun, aren't they? Is that if I'm referencing that right? I don't know if I'm exactly sure, but is that like a circle of safety? Because you have like the SpongeBob episode where that animal can't get you if you're in the circle.
You know, maybe. I don't think that SpongeBob was referenced. I don't think there's any intertextuality in that.
Though it would
aspect,
be interesting to see which one happened first.
Yeah,
Oh,
it would
yeah.
be. I don't know.
Overall, I just thought the characters in this movie were really likable too. Ileana and Karsh, they're
My
protectors.
favorite, definitely. I think Karsh is probably easily the best character in the entire movie, in my opinion, at least. And Ileana is also, they really flow well together, and they're like funny banter or whatnot.
They are
I think it's fun.
magical
Yes.
relationship goals, for sure, without a doubt.
You know, possibly. Maybe. I think I'd need to watch Twitches too to find that out, wouldn't I?
You probably would. But as much as a lot of this movie was fun, I also thought I really liked the bits about just how they have to deal with learning to love their new family as well as the old one since they were
Yeah.
adopted by humans.
I would just really relate to Cammy, in essence, a lot, because not only is her name Cammy, and she's the son, and I also was the son for Halloween, fun fact, but also she has to, like, she has a new family member, and she has to bond with them over a quick period of time, and that's something I've also had to do in my past, so
Yeah, that makes
just
me
relatable.
think, you know,
time.
if only there were a documentary type style movie about somebody named Cammy and the complexities involved with adoptive children learning to love their biological parents as well as their new parents.
Well, you know, I don't think there's anything like that anyone ever needs to see in the world. So we're probably going to just go ahead and move on to Perfect Pets because they are adorable and worth watching for sure.
Hi, my name's Mazda, and I love to snuggle. I've been at the shelter for a long time, but I'm hoping to find my forever home soon.
Hello, my name is Donnie. I love to play and have fun. Ah, bug, get off me. Even though it doesn't look like it, I'm very energetic. I'm still looking for my forever home. Ah, squirrel. See you later.
I'm Bryce.
And I'm Carlsbad.
I like relaxing.
And I like playing with all of my toys.
We're brothers, and we've been together all of our lives, so we hope that you would adopt us together.
To find out more about adoption, contact La Crescent Animal Rescue at 507-895-2066.
And again, the number for the La Crescent Animal Rescue is 507-895-2066. So, imagine this. You're a 13-year-old girl with a helicopter parent as a mom, one of the greatest witches as a grandma, and you're soon to discover your true witch powers. You love Halloween, but your mom hates it. She won't even let you go to your friend's Halloween party. You and your two siblings decide to go follow your grandma back to her home, Halloween Town. And you run into an evil warlock who doubles as the town mayor, in which he is trying to take the souls of the town citizens. In order to stop this dirtbag, you have to collect certain items throughout the town, such as a hair from a werewolf, the sweat of a ghost, and a vampire's tooth. Then, create a potion to pour into Merlin's talisman, a little ball that glows, and once it's lit, you have to go and shove it into the town's big pumpkin to save the day. All while you are dodging and dipping all of the magical obstacles that are being thrown at you. This is a DCOM every true 90s kid would know. The nostalgia is through the roof with this gem, and you cannot help but cringe and laugh at the corny jokes throughout the first installment of Halloween Town. Now, here's a clip from the movie.
No.
Come on, Mom. It's just one cookie.
Not before dinner, Sophie.
Marnie's right. You never let us do anything fun.
Oh, you can have a cookie after dinner.
I want that cookie. I really want that cookie. Are you eating a cookie?
Go sit down. Good thing she doesn't like liver. Hey, dear mother.
Grandma!
Come in here.
Grandma!
Oh, so wonderful to see you and the children again. Oh, my, how you've grown. Oh.
Did you bring us presents?
Oh, presents. What kind of a grandma do you think I'd be if I didn't bring you presents? They're right here in my suitcase. I don't know where that thing went to. Just a minute. Ah, there it is. Now, where did you get to, darling? Come on. Here it is.
How come you've been gone so long, Grandma?
Well, you know, one thing and another. But the important thing is that I'm here now.
We had to rewatch this movie in order for it to be on the show. What did you guys think about watching it now versus when you were a child?
I think it was very different. I didn't watch it much as a child because, much like Marnie, my parents hated Halloween, and they didn't hate it so much as they just didn't want me to celebrate it, so I wasn't allowed to go trick-or-treating with any of my friends, and I also wasn't allowed to watch Halloween movies that much. But I did watch it once or twice as a child, and I felt like it was so much more magical then than it was now. But
yeah, I felt like if you didn't watch this movie as a child, I don't think you could just pick this up as an adult and be like, yeah, that's an objectively good film. You know, I think it's really the nostalgia that makes this for people.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be enjoyable if you didn't love it as a kid.
Yeah. There's a specific scene in the movie. So the town mayor is called Calabar. His name's Calabar. And right at the end, I'm not going to spoil it for you watchers out there, but Marnie, Calabar's running away. Marnie goes, "Hey, chocolate bar," like to get his attention. And as a kid, you're like, "That was a great one." And then, but you see it, you're just like, "Why did I ever laugh at that?" And then, so that's just an example of the many weird jokes in the movie. But and then I just like the costumes in the movie because that's just something that you immediately think of when you think of Halloween Town, and that's why I like Halloween Town 1 over all the other ones, is because it's basically Halloween Town, not like high school or the real life situation in Halloween Town 2, but I just kind of like Halloween Town 1 a lot more. But
yeah,
I also feel like kind of going back to Twitches, you can definitely feel less connection between the kids, though. It did feel a little more forced in this one, especially watching it back to back with Twitches. Yeah.
Of course, the actors and actresses aren't related in real life, so I think that's probably a factor. But also, much like Twitches, the graphics aren't aren't stellar.
Yep.
They're not great, but as a child, we don't really notice those kinds of things, so it just seems so magical. But then watching it again, knowing how good graphics can be, it's a little rough.
Yeah, those characters too. You have the stereotypical brother and sister that don't get along, and necessarily like the smart brother isn't like such a stereotype, and like the sister that's different. But this is kind of weird. I just like I liked it as a kid, but watching it again, going back to that, is just like why do they force this so much? Because you have the brother that's like, you can't do this, to the sister because they hate each other, but it's just something different, you know.
But also watching it now, there are a couple fun things in it, like for instance when they say it's lit, which obviously didn't mean anything at the time,
right?
But now it's a joke.
It's a whole new situation.
Whole new thing.
Well, we're going to take a look at some WMCM promos and then come back and talk about another Disney Channel. No, just a Disney Halloween movie.
The University of Wisconsin-La Crosse brings you a weekly student newscast. Important news. Movie critiques. Weather forecasts. Sports highlights. And local interviews. UWL's own WMCM, run by the students, for the students. Every Thursday at 4:30 on Campus Channel 200 and Charter Channel 989.
Are you a movie fanatic? Tune in on WMCM TV's Screening Room, Tuesdays at 2:45 or 4:30. You can watch on Channel 200 and Charter 989. See you on Tuesdays for Screening Room.
Jack Skellington isn't your basic, everyday pumpkin king. He has a secret. He is bored by his life, and even after a wildly successful Halloween, he just can't seem to be happy. You would think being absolutely adored by his friends and Halloween Town citizens would be enough for Jack, but it simply is not. He feels like he's missing something, so he goes on a walk with his trusty pet Zero until he stumbles upon something unlike he's ever seen before. Curious Jack opens the door to a whole new world, Christmas Town. He's inspired by all the things they are doing there and decides to take over Christmas. Sally, the wonderful misfit ragdoll of the town, warns Jack that this is a bad idea and that all he needs may be right in front of him. Sally longs to be with Jack and just wants to look out for his safety, but he is too preoccupied with making Christmas to give her the time of day. Disregarding Sally's warning, he continues with his plan and things go horribly wrong. He accidentally fills the human town with terror by filling their stockings with dangerous toys. When the people look up into the flying sleigh in the sky, they expect to see Santa, but instead they see a happy skeleton, trying his best. Poor Jack doesn't understand what's wrong and just wants the people to be happy, but there are bigger problems back in Halloween Town. Will Jack save the day? I'll let you figure that out for yourself by watching this 1993 classic from Disney and Touchstone Pictures. Whether or not it's a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie is up to you, but it is a musical, and I would say it is also a love story. It may not be filled with romance, but it's still a better love story than Twilight. With smooth claymation, well-written character development, and intriguing plot lines, and a killer soundtrack, this Tim Burton masterpiece will go down as one of the most iconic Halloween movies of all time. Sorry, let's take a look at the trailer.
Welcome to an extraordinary world filled with magic and wonder. Open your mind and let yourself go to a place where every day is Halloween and every night Jack Skellington
I am the Pumpkin King!
dreams of something different.
What is this? It's someplace new.
Jack, look out!
What's this? What's this? There's color everywhere. What's this? There's white things in the air. What's this? I can't believe my eyes. I must be dreaming. Wake up, Jack. This isn't fair. What is this? Haven't you heard of peace on earth and goodwill toward men?
Touchstone Pictures presents the enchanting story of two very special dreamers and the holiday spirit that brought them together. From the imagination of Tim Burton comes The Nightmare Before Christmas.
And what did Santa bring you, honey?
So this is personally my absolute favorite Halloween movie. I don't really like scary movies, but this is wonderful. It's one of the ones I wasn't allowed to watch as a child, so I didn't get to watch it and like feel the magic of it as a child. But even as like a young adult teenager, I still watched it and thought it was absolutely wonderful. Of course, I am a huge fan of Tim Burton, so that might help, given that this is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. But I love it. I love it a lot. I love Jack, I love Sally, I love Oogie Boogie, all the characters. In case I haven't said it enough, I love the movie. So what do you guys think?
Okay, I'm going to really level with you. I don't love this movie.
Wild.
I do love Tim Burton and his work. I think he's the most amazing. However, as a child, for one thing, this movie was horrifying, really scarring, I felt. And also, not to do spoilers, sorry, but there is a scene where they torture Santa, and that feels like a direct attack to everything that I would like life to be, for one thing.
Yeah, Oogie Boogie's definitely a bad dude, you know. He's a, spoiler again, filled with bugs, so anyone that is filled with bugs can't be good. But,
well, that's a direct attack to bugs that I don't think they deserve.
Bugs deserve all the attacks in the entire world, especially the shoe type attacks. But Oogie Boogie is the villain of the movie for sure, which is, I think, exciting because Jack is portrayed to be the villain because he tries to take over Christmas, but really he has so much good in his heart, if he has a heart, because he is a skeleton. But he's just trying to do what's best for everybody. He just doesn't understand that it's not working because he won't listen to Sally, who just wants to love him. I just think it's a great movie,
Which is a
you know?
big mood, something we can all relate
Honestly,
to.
such a relatable movie.
Sally
you
and
know?
Jack are both excellent characters, highly relatable.
Yeah. Yeah, Jack's for sure a sad boy. He's got some inner turmoil because he just wants something new in his life. He's got the same old thing every single day. The Halloween comes and then it's back to Halloween. You know, that would be pretty much a bummer. Like, tomorrow is October 31st, that's Halloween. Next day, it's Christmas. I don't want any more Halloween after that.
Unless you work at Hobby Lobby, it's
then it's Christmas all year.
Shout out to Hobby Lobby. I worked there for a little bit, but
yeah. Jack's sad boy spirit is something that I really identify with. So I do appreciate that about him, and I for sure would not want to live in Halloween forever, even for Halloween for the most part.
Yeah.
So,
but
one
thing. Definite benefit that Jack does have, besides, of course, Sally, is Zero, which pretty much the cutest thing I've ever seen. It's this dog, his pet dog, and he's got a pumpkin nose, and he becomes Rudolph because he leads the sleigh of skeleton reindeer, and Zero's everything I've ever wanted. So how did you feel about the movie?
Oh, I liked it. You know, I haven't seen it until I watched it for the show, and I thought it was the most well-rounded movie, because you have, like we said before, Halloween Town and Twitches, where it's just like, man, why am I laughing at this at the age I am? But this one, it had a lot of mature humor in it as well, suitable for the kids. I liked the claymation. In middle school, we had a claymation project for our high school, or middle school, our art class. And it was the hardest thing I ever had to do, because I don't know how they do it. You just gotta move it every little inch, every little picture.
So you can really appreciate the
the
work that was put
into
it.
it. Very, very artistic, and I loved it.
Yeah, I would say that as a general warning, though, I would say that this is the least kid-friendly, for sure, of all the 3 movies we've talked about today.
Well, a fun fact that I learned recently is Disney wanted to release it, but they thought it would be too scary for children, so they made Touchstone Pictures release it as a Touchstone Pictures movie, but everyone knows it's a Disney movie. So, and Disney backed Tim Burton on it originally. They were just like, this isn't kid-friendly, so because they also have other movies like Hocus Pocus, for example, which is more kid-friendly.
Yes.
That's also a very iconic Disney Halloween movie. Hocus Pocus is always playing during the month of October on like Freeform and other channels like that. What do you guys think about Hocus Pocus?
I think it's okay. Again, I'm going to say it's a little overrated for me, but it's mildly enjoyable, I would say.
Yeah.
It's just one of those classics. Like, you can't miss it on Halloween. Like, I'm not just saying you can't miss watching it. You can't miss hearing about it. Like, it is so relevant in during the Halloween time, and I'm surprised I don't see more Halloween costumes of it. To be honest, this Halloween I saw about 1 million referees, and it's like, put a little effort into it.
Yeah.
Sorry to all you referees out there, but
the Hocus Pocus costumes are, I think, really cool, and if I had the time and money to go full out and do a full Hocus Pocus costume, I think that would be fun. But I am broke, so I can't do that.
That is true.
You know.
I would actually say, though, for Halloween movies, and also going off Tim Burton, which obviously we talked about with The Nightmare Before Christmas, I actually enjoyed The Corpse Bride a lot more.
I love The Corpse Bride.
Love it.
I'm ready to talk about it. It's got Johnny Depp, one of the greatest actors, I think. That might be exaggerated for most people. In my opinion, he's one of the greatest actors because he can really do any role. But he's the lead in that. There's that claymation. It's got a really fun, I think, a fun plot line because he accidentally marries a dead girl. How do you do that? Got to watch the movie to find out.
Imagine this.
So imagine this.
You accidentally marry a dead female.
You know?
What are you going to do with her?
Yeah. Especially when you're in love with a fully alive female.
Yeah. So I would say it's also a tricky love triangle.
Yeah.
Fun situation.
Yeah.
It's a tricky sitch.
Tricky.
Yeah. And also probably still a better love story than Twilight. But I think another good Halloween movie is another DCOM. It's, Phantom of the Megaplex. It's been a long time since I've watched that, but that's one I know a lot of people like. There's also Under Wraps, My Mom's a Vampire.
Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
That's what I meant. I was trying to think of My Babysitter's a Vampire, and then
which is also a great movie.
That is a good movie. They actually made a show about that.
Yeah, I watched the whole thing. Yeah. Obviously, I was still in the Twilight craze, so vampires were everything. And also, but I would say that my favorite Halloween DCOM is Now You See It, which is a movie about magicians, and it's also goes awry and everything that happens at this magical school, and it's very cool, I thought.
Super fun fact, I actually met Ali Mashaka and AJ, of course. I was just in the right place at the right time, and they were like, you want free tickets to their concert? And then I got backstage passes, and I'll talk about it anytime that I'm given the opportunity. But yeah, I think Ali Mashaka does a really good job in that movie. Because that was kind of during her Phil of the Future days, right? So she's like in her prime.
Yeah. So what are your guys' favorite Halloween movies, would you say?
Are we talking not Disney here? We're talking...
Any.
Well, I really like those Conjuring series. You know, I know you haven't seen that because you don't like scary movies, but have you?
Yeah, I've seen The Conjuring.
Which ones? Give me a
I
little.
thought it was okay. Generally, I'm not very scared by ghost films, so I thought it was pretty funny more than anything. I would say that my favorite Halloween movie, if I'm going to stick to children's theme, which is kind of what we're on right now, I would say is The Haunting Hour, featuring Cody Lindley and Emily Osment.
I don't think about it.
I like the what's the house movie where it's like the
Monster House?
Monster House.
Played the video game of that. It was really fun. Watched the movie as well. I really like the scene where he hops in the big old machine.
Yeah, I like both of those movies.
That's another one that felt traumatizing a bit as a child.
Yeah. When I was watching, I actually just recently watched The Haunting Hour, and it was wildly less amazing than it was as a child. But I don't know. I thought it was still a good one. And also, there was something else I was going to say that I just totally forgot to talk about.
You know what this is actually a good time to mention is that we did a poll about Halloween Town.
You know what? You're right. That's exactly what it was. We're on the same wavelength today. We did a poll. We sent one out on Twitter to see what your favorite Halloween Town movie is, and Halloween Town 1
Look at that.
won. Halloween Town 2 got no votes, so Calabar's Revenge is just...
There's a reason
That's
for
a
that.
flop, I guess. But Halloween Town High, that's one I voted for. And Return to Halloween Town got less votes also. Probably, I'm going to say because it's a different actress that plays Marnie, and that trips a lot of people out because they're like, oh, that's weird.
No disrespect to Sarah Paxton, because she's great and she did the best she could. But in a twist, let's talk about movies that are actually new to theaters as opposed to ones that came out more than a decade ago.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of good ones. I know Halloween, A Star is Born. I've heard so many good things about A Star is Born. I heard Lady Gaga did an amazing job with that movie.
Yeah, and the soundtrack is incredible, too.
Yeah. Well, I would believe it. Lady Gaga's kind of a star.
You believe it?
Would you believe that she's a star that was born? So anyway, there's also Venom and The Hate You Give. The Hate You Give, starring KJ Apa from Riverdale.
And Amanda Stenberg.
Yes, from other things.
She was Rue in The Hunger Games.
Right, that's right. I knew her from something. But there's some pretty good, from what I've heard, pretty good criticism about that one.
All right, so there are also some new movies that are coming out to DVD these days. What? Anybody want to take a shot at those?
Yeah. Do you know any of those? Well, there's Mile 22, The Darkest Minds. I heard that was a good movie too. I didn't get to see it because I don't go to theaters very often. But
yeah, the trailer looked really good.
The trailer looked really good. Mandy and Airstrike as well.
Yep. And more relevant to this campus in particular, there's going to be a lot of movies at the U. Classic. A couple of those that are coming up are Searching.
Oh my.
Yeah. Searching is one that I haven't heard too much about, but the trailer looks very intense. I like the format though, the whole computer screen thing. There's also A Simple Favor coming out, which I did want to see because
I really want to see it.
Anna Kendrick and Blake Lively.
Blake Lively is a goddess. There's just no denying that. But I really want to see it. It's also a suspense, but also comedy, which I thought was interesting. From what I've heard, I don't know if it's incredibly comedy-esque, but it's a little funny, which I think is kind of cool because I don't usually watch suspense movies, but when I do, usually they're not very funny, but this will be fun. I'm excited to see it.
You would think.
Have you guys seen The Meg?
No, I haven't seen any of the movies come to the U.
I heard a lot of mixed reviews about The Meg. I heard it was really good, and also really bad. The Big Shark. The Big Shark.
It's a big shark, not a baby shark.
No, I think we got to call it quits on Baby Shark. That's always time to call it quits. So that's pretty much it for our movie review today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We love talking about Halloween and Halloween movies, so yeah, it'll be a good time. Yeah.
Have a great day.